One of the biggest aspects of the immigration system that's in need is representation. There's simply not enough lawyers for the kind of need and what's required, and of course the immigration system doesn't have guaranteed lawyers like the criminal system in terms of a public defender. I run a clinic in which my students take on cases representing people who are detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement who face removal from the United States. What we've seen through the ages, Ellis Island and of course Angel Island and World War II and all of these different aspects, the Immigration Nationality Act, Chinese Exclusion Act, it is an area of law that shifts, changes, and is really sort of subject to a lot of the political winds. Detention work in the immigration field has become increasingly important since the explosion of using detention. Post 9/11, when we decide to put them into jails, when we decide to put them under lock and key, it becomes extremely important that they have advocates that can help them navigate, make correct choices, and pretty much decide whether or not trying to live in the United States is what's important to them. Well, one of the coolest things ever, right, is to have a student meet a client and then from that meeting of the client feel a sense of passion and responsibility for a person's case. Oftentimes these community service, there's this implication that it's like a one-way street, that we're providing this external good. And while I think there's truth in the idea that we are providing services, I also think it's an example of how we're all connected. What happens to the people who are detained? What happens to the people whose families are detained? What happens to these people who are affected by immigration enforcement? And what happens are things that have a direct impact on us, that we're interconnected.